Hello everyone, this is Abi aka onlyabidoang, and today we're gonna be checking out the new features added from the recent free update of The Sims 4 on January 14th, 2025. We're nearing the 25th anniversary of the Sims franchise, so there's a handful of stuff to unpack here. Before continuing, a quick reminder that I now have a creator code as part of the EA affiliate program. Enter the code onlyabidoang when purchasing any Sims 4 packs in the EA desktop app or thesims.com if you want to directly support me, but keep in mind that it's not a discount code. Okay, that's enough blabbering, let's dive into what this update has to offer, shall we? First off, The Sims 4 has, yet again, undergone a main menu redesign as part of its new rebranding. Again? Yeah, this is probably the 6th time the menu has gone through a major makeover. Now, this is what it looks like. We have this dark blue background with your last household save being displayed in the middle of the screen, the latest news now on the right side, the list of packs still on the different category right on top, and the main buttons like New Game, Resume Game, and Load Game are on the left. Honestly, it's gonna take some time to get used to, both for your eyes and muscle memory, especially since the Resume Game button is now on the opposite side of where it used to be. I also wish that the old button outlines were still there. Right now it's just plain text, and I think a little visual border will help make it look sharper and more noticeable. I do like the change where my Sims household is now front and center though. Next on the list are refreshed Townie homes. Now, the homes of all the 8 original Townie households in Willow Creek and Oasis Springs have been updated and renovated. They now feature a fresher look and incorporate newer base game elements that weren't present when the game was first released, such as swimming pools, L-shaped stairs, newly added objects like telescopes. They also improved the indoor lighting, add modern designs, and more. The households whose homes received renovations are the Goths, Pancakes, BFFs, Spencer Kim Lewis, Landgrabs, Roomies, Zest, and Calientes. Keep in mind that these changes only apply to new saves created after the update. If you're playing on an old save, you need to go to the gallery, then your library, and the renovated homes will now be there for you to place manually. You can also grab their original homes from your library, which are now included as well if you prefer them instead. Also, these new homes all have their own lot traits as well. This next one is a small addition, but you can now have the option to revive dead cowplants for just 100 simoleons. This can be done by simply clicking on them. Once done, the dead cowplant will reverse back into a cowplant berry and you need to plant it and raise it all over again. This next one wasn't mentioned in the patch note, but apparently the Grim Reaper himself has gotten a new makeover. His usual smooth-looking robe will now have this grungy look to it, with more details if you look closely. He will also appear more skeletal now. His previous decayed hands has now turned into skeleton hands, and if you look closely at his chest, you can now see his actual ribs. It kind of resembles the Grim Reaper's appearance back in the older Sims games now. This change applies to all saves, even old ones, because his old model will be replaced with this new one. It's also pretty strange that this change wasn't included in the Life and Death base game update back in November though. Don't worry, despite his new bony look, he can still definitely bone your Sims, alright? He also still looks the same underneath the robe. There's yet another upcoming limited time rewards event on the horizon. If you didn't know, The Sims 4 has had a few of these limited time events in the last 1 year where you can unlock new objects in the base game if you do certain objectives within a certain time frame, usually 8 weeks. The problem is that many players have had some issues when completing them, such as certain objectives not marked as completed even if the players have done it. We already had 3 so far, and the last one was back in December that was themed around holidays. The next one will be held on February 4th as a way to celebrate the upcoming 25th birthday of The Sims and will be called Blast from the Past. Based on this banner, I think it'll also be themed around nostalgia and time travel since you can see what seems to be Emmett Relevart, the time traveler NPC back in The Sims 3 Into the Future expansion pack. I still have no idea what the quests will be this time around since the event hasn't started yet, but the upcoming reward items have actually been implemented earlier through this update. Let's use the usual trick where you can grab them from the gallery. Wait, what's this? Aw, seems that you cannot grab these items early now since the game knows that you don't own them yet. And apparently, people who haven't unlocked the objects from past reward events aren't able to grab them from the gallery anymore. That's a very disappointing change, man, especially for players who haven't managed to unlock these items before. But oh well, there's nothing mods couldn't fix, so I had to use this mod by Lunar Brittany so the game considers them to be unlocked and test them. Let's see all the upcoming reward items, shall we? On the first week, you can unlock these futuristic glasses and a pair of boots in Create a Sim. these two new floor tiles called Spiral Parquet and Retro Edwardian tiles, these two new landline phones which I was pretty excited at first till I found out that these are just for decorations, which is such a missed potential, and this inflatable living chair, which is based on the same item in the Sims 1 House Party expansion pack. On the second week, you can unlock this futuristic bow tie and full body outfit in Create a Sim, which glows and blinks by the way. This is based on Amit Relevant, the aforementioned time travel NPC in Sims 3. There's also this old-fashioned alarm clock, which, surprise surprise, is functional. You can click on it and set the time you want it to ring, and once set up, the alarm clock will ring at its scheduled time and every Sim sleeping nearby will immediately wake up. Sims who are woken up by this may also get either a tense or a focus buff. Sims with level 3 handiness skill can upgrade the clock so that it has an increased range of effect. Finally, there's also this banquet table where you can serve an assortment of dishes at once, which is perfect for parties. On the third week, you can unlock this iconic black dress based on the Sims 2 version of Dina Caliente, one of the iconic Townies. There's also the love seat version of the inflatable chair, and two new songs you can unlock for the retro radio station. The first song is called Pody Tai, which you might remember from The Sims 3, and the second song is sung by Kiki Palmer. That isn't copyright safe, so I'm not gonna play it. You can also unlock this new aspiration called Sticky Fingers, which is a pretty fascinating aspiration. The only goal of this aspiration is to swap items worth a total of 250,000 simoleons. And you don't even need to have the kleptomaniac trait to be able to complete this, because once you've picked this aspiration, you will automatically gain the ability to steal objects. Once completed, you'll gain the enhanced kleptomaniac trait. If you already have the kleptomaniac trait, it will be replaced with this upgraded version. This new trait removes the 2-hour cooldown for swiping objects, allowing you to swipe multiple items immediately without any waiting period. And on the fourth week, you'll be able to unlock two new objects. The first is a multicolored dance floor originally introduced in the Sims 1 House Party. It comes in 4 different color options and your Sims can dance on it whenever a music is playing. And the next one on the list is... wait, what? Am I saying this right? My wish has finally come true! The giant cake from the Sims 1 House Party has made a comeback after all these years! But this one is kinda different than the OG cake, since you won't get any new NPC dancers this time around. Aww. Anyway, you can interact with it much like a regular birthday cake. You can add candles, taste the frosting, or blow out the candles to age up your Sim. Sims can also take a slice of this giant cake, which has 12 servings per cake. There are 4 flavors to choose from depending on the variations you've bought: chocolate, red velvet, fruity, and vanilla. Additionally, there's this one interaction where you can hide inside the cake. Once hidden, you can either cancel the interaction to have them step out or click on the cake again to trigger a surprise. If done, a song will play and your Sim will pop out of the cake, perform this silly little dance, and step down its stairs. If you've played Sims 2 and Sims 3 before, you might recognize this dance as this muscle dance. Other Sims nearby will also celebrate your Sims, so yeah, your Sim won't do that suggestive dance anymore like back in Sims 1, but at least anyone can use it now. Child Sims can also hide in the cake and perform a surprise as well. In this upcoming event, you will also be able to unlock a brand new collectible, which are milk cartons. There are 6 milk cartons to collect. Based on how collectibles were handled in previous events, these might be spread out across the 4 weeks of the event if you want to unlock them all. These milk cartons feature pictures of various iconic characters from the Sims franchise, labeling them as missing. Some of these include Bella Goth from The Sims 2, the Pit Beast from The Sims Medieval, Ginny from My Sims, Skip Broke from The Sims 2, Amit Relevant from The Sims 3 Into the Future, and a burglar. Yeah, they really didn't need to rub it in our faces that it's been 10 years with no burglars in this game. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a hint. You know what, I don't even want to get my hopes up. You can also view these milk cartons to get some info regarding these missing characters. This is also a small addition that wasn't mentioned. If you turn on the cheat bb.show hidden objects, go to buy mode and scroll down deep enough, you may find these peculiar new items, such as this thing called Shards of Time, Time Travel Component, Thieves Letter, and IOU Note. Some players speculated that this may be a hint to a time travel pack or Burglar's Return, but honestly, by the looks of it, it's probably just gonna be a quest item for the upcoming Blast from the Past event. If you try to place them, it'll only be in the form of this package box. This update provides a handful of performance improvement. It was stated that they've optimized mouse movements to prevent slowdowns and make the gameplay more responsive on PC, and optimized how graphic data is handled, resulting in smoother and more efficient rendering and performance on Mac and PS4. There are also various enhancements added to save memory across all platforms, helping the game run more smoothly and reducing crashes. I do think that these fixes are actually legit, because my game felt so slow after I played for an hour or two before the update, especially when you click on something to do an interaction, but now I don't feel that slowdown anymore. There are a handful of bug fixes this time. I won't show all the fixes for now, but here are some notable ones. They've resolved an issue where players couldn't minimize the game in full screen mode using DirectX 11 by pressing Alt+Tab or the Windows key. They have fixed the bug where bills can get really high because they count objects in the inventory. Trying for baby in the shower will now fill your Sim's hygiene motive. Neon signs will no longer break during the rain. Outgoing and social awkward traits are mutually exclusive now, so Sims cannot have both traits. The water puddle VFX animation will no longer appear on the ground floor when swimming on the second floor. Sim no longer has the option to give the toddler fertilizer as food from the inventory? What? Anyway, Sim's weight and muscle levels are now properly affected by bike riding, horse riding, jog here, and rock climbing. Sims will no longer gain fitness skill when cleaning a litter box. Sims with the gym rat trait will no longer lose hygiene while juggling a soccer ball. The frequency of getting electrocuted from robotic workstation has been considerably reduced, and many more. You can take a look at the full patch note for a complete list of the bug fixes by clicking the link in the description. And finally, it wouldn't be a Sims 4 update without its share of new bugs. One of the more well-known ones is the sudden appearance of rain and snow indoors. Thankfully, it's only visual. Your sim won't get wet or freeze inside, but it's still pretty annoying. Some players have also reported missing items in build by mode. The items still show up in searches by keyword, but they were nowhere to be found in the full build by catalog. You can't even use the eyedropper tool on them since they're nowhere to be seen in any categories. So those are the new Sims 4 update for January 2025. They've also announced in the latest Behind the Sims that an update will be coming later in February to celebrate the Sims 25th anniversary with many new things, including the addition of 70 plus items from both Create a Sim and Build by mode. We'll see how big it'll actually be later. Also, a few days ago, The Sims 3 apparently got a random update out of nowhere after years of no updates. It's very minor though. It only applies to the EA app version of The Sims 3 and it fixes the issue where the game wouldn't start correctly on certain PCs with newer processors. And finally, I want to recap the last few updates that I've missed since the last update video that I covered back in July 2024. There were 6 updates in total, but I'm only gonna cover 4 big updates that includes new stuff. On December 3rd, 2024, we got this hot cocoa tray that lets you serve hot chocolates, this comfy blankets quilt decor, 2 new Romanian dishes, Mama Liga and Mucenici, some Romanian-inspired outfits for kids and adults which includes a headscarf, and a new outerwear coat. There's also this limited time cozy celebrations event that lets you unlock some new decor and gameplay objects, create the same items, and a new trade. On October 22nd, 2024, there's a huge base game update with the release of Life and Death Pack. You can now change the occult status of a sim directly, turn sims or pets to ghosts from Create a Sim by changing its cause of death, new true black color swatches for some base game footwears. Sims will now get this message and be able to play as a ghost directly after death. Sims can react differently to someone dying. You can woohoo with Grim Reaper. Ghost gets renamed Needs. There's a new life event category in Build By. You can change your gravestone's appearance. There's a new bonfire in the base game. There's a new tombstone for mermaids. And ghosts who died of starvation, fire, old age, and cats and dogs ghosts receive a brand new ability. On October 1st, 2024, the Happy at Home event reward objects that you can unlock back in May 2024 are now permanently available to all players as a compensation for how buggy the event was for everyone. And finally, on September 18th, 2024, there are 650 new color swatches for existing Build By items, some new doors and arches, and new terrain paints. You can take a look at the list of new additions here. The Reaper's Reward event was also implemented here, where you can unlock certain items like this Grimophone object that lets you summon Grim, a magical book, a creepy painting, a bicycle, a casket, and some Create a Sim items. So those are the new things added in this month's update and also some past updates. What do you think of these new additions? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you like them, and if you do and want more, be sure to subscribe to the channel. See you later!